The first thing he said when we walked into IKEA was, "Let's pretend we've been married for 10 years. I laughed so hard that people turned around to look at us. We had only been dating for 3 weeks. We had never traveled together. We had never spent an entire day alone together. Yet somehow, Lucas was already pushing a shopping cart through IKEA, asking me whether I preferred white curtains or gray ones. My name is Ryan. I was 20 years old, studying architecture at university and trying very hard not to fall too quickly for someone I had only recently met. Lucas was 21, worked part-time at a bookstore, and somehow made every ordinary moment feel like a scene from a movie. We met at a small coffee shop near campus after a mutual friend introduced us. What started as one conversation became several. One coffee became many. Soon our evenings belonged to each other. One Saturday morning, Lucas sent me a message that simply said, "IKEA date." I replied, "Why IKEA?" He answered, "Because if we survive IKEA together, we can survive anything." So there we were, walking through the entrance, while pretending to shop for a future apartment neither of us actually owned. Lucas immediately picked up a pillow and asked, "Would this match our living room?" I laughed. "We don't have a living room," he smiled. "Not yet." The strange thing was that pretending felt surprisingly real. We sat on couches discussing imaginary movie nights. We walked through kitchens talking about meals we would cook someday. We argued playfully about lamps, tables, and blankets. People around us probably thought we had known each other for years. One elderly woman even smiled and said, "You two make a lovely couple." Lucas turned bright red. So did I during lunch at the IKEA restaurant. He became quieter than usual. "What's wrong?" "Hey," I asked. He looked at his food for several seconds. "Nothing. I'm just happy," I smiled. "That's a good thing," he nodded. "I haven't felt this comfortable with someone before." His words stayed with me. For years I had worried that I would never find someone who understood me. Yet here I was sitting beside a man who made furniture shopping feel like an adventure. After lunch, we wandered through the bedroom section. Lucas sat on one of the display beds and looked around dramatically. "This is where our cat sleeps." I laughed. "We don't even have a cat," he smiled. "Details are not important." But secretly I realized something. I liked imagining those things. I liked pretending. Because somewhere between the couches and the lamps, the future no longer felt frightening. Later that afternoon, we found a small balcony display decorated with lights and plants. The area was quiet. Few people walked by. Lucas sat beside me and suddenly became serious. "Can I tell you something?" I nodded. He looked nervous. "Before I met you, I stopped believing relationships would happen for me." My heart became heavy. "Why?" He looked away. "Because being honest about who I am always felt scary." I understood completely. For years I had hidden parts of myself because I feared rejection. I looked at him and said, "You don't have to hide with me." He smiled softly. "I know." We sat there quietly while people walked around us carrying furniture and shopping bags. It was probably the strangest place for an important conversation, yet somehow it felt perfect. On our way out, Lucas stopped near the checkout area and smiled. "What was your favorite part?" I thought about it. The couches. The fake kitchens, the terrible jokes, the imaginary apartment, the way he smiled every time he looked at me. Finally, I answered, "You." Mahapaha. He looked surprised. "Really?" I nodded. "You make ordinary places feel special." He became quiet for several seconds before smiling. "You do that too." That evening, we sat outside the store watching the sunset while waiting for our ride home. The parking lot slowly emptied. The sky turned orange. Lucas looked at me and laughed. "Imagine explaining this to people." "What?" that we spent our entire first date pretending to buy furniture for a future apartment. I smiled. Sounds crazy. He looked at me. Maybe. Then he added quietly, but I think I want more days like this. I looked at him and realized that I did too. Sometimes love doesn't begin with dramatic moments. Sometimes it begins inside a furniture store. Sometimes it begins with two people pretending to share a future until they slowly realize they actually want one. And as the sun disappeared behind the city that evening, I realized that the best part of the day wasn't the store, the jokes, or the pretending. It was discovering that someone had entered my life and made ordinary moments feel extraordinary. The hardest part about that IKEA date was realizing that I didn't want it to end. After we left the store, Lucas and I sat outside watching cars leave the parking lot while the evening sky slowly turned dark. Neither of us seemed ready to go home. It was strange how one ordinary day had changed everything. We had walked through fake apartments, argued about imaginary furniture, and joked about a future that didn't exist. Yet somehow it felt more real than anything either of us had experienced before. As we waited for our rides, Lucas looked at me and smiled. "Do you think we'll come back here someday?" I laughed. "To buy furniture?" He nodded. "Maybe for a real apartment?" My heart immediately started racing. It was a simple joke, but part of me wanted to believe it. The following weeks became some of the happiest of my life. We spent nearly every evening together. Sometimes we studied at coffee shops. Sometimes we walked through the city for hours without any destination. Sometimes we simply sat beside each other watching movies while sharing popcorn and talking about nothing important. The ordinary moments slowly became my favorites. One evening, Lucas became unusually quiet while we sat in a small restaurant near campus. "What's wrong?" I asked. He looked down at his hands. "I'm scared of what?" he sighed. "What if people don't understand us?" I knew exactly what he meant. For years, both of us had hidden parts of ourselves because we feared being judged. I reached across the table and held his hand. The people who truly care about you won't stop caring. He smiled softly. "You always say the right thing." Several weeks later, Lucas invited me to a gathering with his closest friends. I was nervous. He was nervous too. Throughout the evening, everyone laughed, shared stories, and talked about university, work, and life. Finally, one of his friends smiled and asked, "So when are you two finally admitting you're together?" Lucas nearly dropped his drink. I looked at him in surprise. His friends started laughing. One of them said, "We've known for months." Lucas looked at me and laughed. Apparently, we're terrible at hiding things. The fear he had carried for so long suddenly disappeared. Sometimes we imagine difficult conversations becoming disasters when they actually become moments of relief. Winter arrived. The city became colder. Lights appeared throughout the streets. Lucas invited me to spend part of the holidays with his family. The idea terrified me. What if they don't like me? I asked. He smiled. Impossible. The first evening felt awkward. I was nervous and quiet. But his family welcomed me warmly. During dinner, his mother smiled and asked, "So you're the person who makes Lucas smile at his phone all day?" Lucas turned red immediately. I laughed. Later that evening, we walked outside while snow slowly fell around us. Lucas looked at me. "Thank you for coming." I smiled. "Thank you for asking me." We stood quietly while snow covered the streets. "Before I met you," he said softly, "I thought I would always feel alone." My heart became heavy. I felt the same way. He looked at me and smiled. "Funny that we met because of an IKEA date." I laughed. Maybe furniture stores are magical. Spring eventually arrived. University graduation approached. The future suddenly became real. Jobs, apartments, and decisions waited ahead of us. One afternoon, Lucas asked me to meet him at IKEA again. I immediately started laughing when I received his message. "Back to our imaginary apartment?" I asked. He replied, "Something like that." We walked through the same rooms we had visited months earlier. The same couches, the same kitchens, the same small balcony display where we had first shared our honest conversation. Everything felt familiar. Lucas stopped near the living room section and looked around. "Remember when we pretended all of this?" I nodded. "Yeah." He smiled. "I don't think I'm pretending anymore." My heart started racing. He sat on one of the display sofas and looked directly at me. "When we first came here, I thought we were just joking about the future." He paused. "But now when I imagine my future, you're there." I didn't know what to say. The store around us continued normally. People pushed shopping carts. Children laughed. Music played quietly through the speakers. Yet everything felt still. "Ryan," he said softly, "I want more ordinary days with you. More coffee shops. More walks. More movie nights. More IKEA trips." Tears filled my eyes. I want that too. We left the store carrying nothing except 2 small candles we bought near the exit. Lucas laughed while holding the shopping bag. We spent hours in IKEA and bought candles. Spelled. Seems appropriate. As we sat outside watching the sunset exactly where we had months before, I realized something important. Love is rarely made of grand moments. It is built from ordinary days that slowly become unforgettable. It is built from coffee cups, long walks, shared jokes, and conversations inside furniture stores. And as Lucas sat beside me, holding a tiny shopping bag and smiling at the sunset, I understood that the person who made ordinary places feel magical had become the person I wanted beside me for every ordinary day still waiting ahead.